pieces, and they said they finished a year or so ago, and this was one of the downloads from the UK National Archives. And this was a letter, or a series of letters in one of the downloads, that was correspondence from a man who described himself as a physicist astronomer about his grandfather who had, quote, served as a personal bodyguard to the Prime Minister Winston Churchill. And the writer, the physicist astronomer, gives details about an alleged conversation of alarm between Prime Minister Churchill and American General Dwight Eisenhower concerning a dramatic UFO interaction around an RAF bomber returning from Germany, and that what Prime Minister Churchill said to Eisenhower, according to this writer, perhaps reveals the seed of a policy of strict denial that was to be supported by both the UK and the US for the past 70 years since World War II. And this is what he wrote, was the quote that his grandfather overheard Prime Minister Churchill say to General Eisenhower, quote, "This event, the RAF being circled over and over by a disk in the sky and reported by the pilots, this event should be immediately classified since it would create mass panic amongst the general population and destroy one's belief in the church," close quote. What is missing from this letter are in between the lines. What else was Prime Minister Churchill made privy to in General Eisenhower that would support this sentence? It certainly wouldn't have simply been a disk running rings around an RAF bomber.
Indeed, yes.
So that is a piece of possibly true history that gives context for the fact that everything we've discussed tonight, our government and the British government and others have known about for a very long time and made a policy of denial that the world was never to know.
We're going to know in our lifetimes, Linda?
I actually think this has to break open.
We've been saying that for years and years, haven't we?
Well, we've wanted it to happen, but I think part of this sense that the boil is perhaps upon us relates.
It is close.
Yeah, relates to that something. It's like the San Andreas Fault. That leg keeps being jammed and jammed, and the pressure keeps building and building, and the earthquake relieves it. And we need the truth to relieve the concocted planet we're living on.
And you think we're close to that? You really believe we're close? You believe that feeling of the boiling coming on is the information getting ready to break? And if it does, I just wonder how we're going to do, because you keep mentioning those chips that are going to fall. Boy, there's going to be some serious chips, Linda.
Well, how much worse could it get than all of the conflict in the Middle East and the radioactive damage in Japan and the fact that we are in a sort of I'm going to call it an unstable or unpredictable climate time, and we're in the sixth mass extinction in which there are as many or more animals dying every day and year as there was in the last fifth, and that we are at some sort of a turning point on this planet any way you cut it. And
I believe you. We're out of time, Linda. We are absolutely just totally out of time. The show is over, and all I can say is we'll have you back and we'll do it again.
God bless you, Art.